Hey guys, Jen here. So today we're going to make a hydrangea arrangement using coffee filters. I saw an arrangement on Wayfair and I fell in love with it. It was so pretty, but it was like $108, which I thought was insane. So I've decided to give this the Dollar Tree makeover, if you will. I did see a couple other videos that I watched on YouTube and I kind of took their ideas and smushed them together to make my own easy for me tutorial. So I want to show you what you need first. So you need coffee filters. You can use any coffee filter that you have around the house from any store. I did get mine from the Dollar Tree so that we would have, you know, true Dollar Tree material. Then you also need some type of rubber glove, and again, these are from the Dollar Tree. You need food coloring from anywhere, really. This one is from the Dollar Tree, and it is like the liquid kind. It's not gel. Then you need a foam block, and you need a container. Now, this one did not come from the Dollar Tree, but they do have tons of different ones. I just really fell in love with this one when I was at Walmart. And this one was $4.97, and it's going to fit my needs perfectly, so I did go ahead and get this. You need some type of floral wire or floral tape, pipe cleaners. If you want to do any decorating, this ribbon from the Dollar Tree is really pretty. But other than that, you need a sharp pair of scissors, and I think we're ready to get started. Alright, so I think we're ready to get started here. I have my gloves on. I separated my coffee filters out so that they are not all completely stuck together. And then over here you can see I have a cookie sheet that I covered with parchment paper so that I don't get any of the food coloring onto my actual baking sheets that I use every day. So I'm going to start by dyeing these hydrangea blossoms a green, because if you look at a hydrangea down inside, they have this really natural light green. So we're going to start with some green. And then I'm going to put in some orange. And I'm really kind of just guessing at this. Alright, I am going to go ahead and add my water. I'm not going to add all of it. That way, in case I have it too dark, I can use some more of the water to lighten it up. So now I have this really green color, and I really want more of a like brownish color, if you will. So I'm going to add some red and see what that does. See if that darkens up that green any. And I may add some blue as well. Let's see what we got here. It's starting to look kind of brown, isn't it? Which is kind of what I want. Ooh, I think we're on to something here. That looks about right. Now the only I don't know is if it's going to be dark enough. I think I'm going to add a few drops of each color just to make sure that it's dark enough. And you could use paint too if you want. I just think the food coloring is going to look better. And I think you just have to play with it really to get the colors you want. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take my coffee filters, and I've got them in stacks of 4, 5, 6. I don't really know. And I'm going to put them down in here Soak all that goodness up. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Look how natural green that looks. And I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to wring out all the excess color. The more moisture you get out, the better. And I'm going to lay them out to dry on my cookie sheet. That one had a little too much brown for my taste. I'm going to put a little more green. But as we know, not every hydrangea is the same. Alright, so take my next ones. Oh yeah, that's a little greener. Okay. Put those in there. Let those soak up all the goodness color stuff here. I'm going to wring out my filters. This is why you wear gloves, so you don't end up with green hands for the next several days. And I'm just laying these out onto my cookie sheets to dry. And you can bake these. That will speed up the drying process, but I'm just going to let mine dry overnight and see how that goes. And you want to make sure that you cover those cookie sheets with parchment paper so that you don't get the dye onto your cooking area. And I would suggest definitely covering your desk area. So I went ahead and left my cutting mat down. And these will just peel apart tomorrow when I'm ready to see my finished product here. So I've got one more set to do. And I think I'm going to redo that first one I did too. See if I can get it a little greener because it turned out really brown. It like collected all the red dye and that was it. Let me know a little more. If you're gonna bake them, I would suggest like really low setting, like 275, 300, something like that, so you don't, actually bake them. I'll go back to this first one again. See how brown it is? Let's see if we can't get it to green up a little bit. I don't mind if it's not completely green, but it's really different from the other ones, so. Still looks kind of pink, doesn't it? Well, I'm going to let it dry and see what it looks like in the morning. But in the meantime, I'm going to grab another stack of coffee filters. Alright, so last one, we're going to let this all dry. And I'll see you in the morning. I gotta take my gloves off to turn my camera off though. Ugh. Okay, so my coffee filters are all dry and they all are kind of a different green. Some of them turned out kind of funky. Look at this one. But that's okay. I'm fine with that because they're all going to look a little different and we still have to put the color on them still. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with 2 coffee filters. We're going to lay them on top of each other, flatten them out a little bit, fold them over, and we're essentially doing like a snowflake. So because of that, to make it a little easier to cut on ourselves, every time we make a fold, we're going to do a little cut, and that's just going to make it so it's not so hard for us to cut once we have it all the way folded. So here's your fold line. You're going to fold it again. Again, cut it on the line just so it's easier for us to cut. Fold it again. We're going to make a little cone shape. And then we're going to fold it one more time. You can see if we hadn't cut that, it would be very thick to cut through. And this is actually the exact way that I have my students do snowflakes in the wintertime. They turn out really super cute. So then now we're going to take our pencil and we're going to draw us a petal on this cone. So I want to take up as much space as I can so I don't have so much cutting. So I'm going to take this petal and kind of go up into the corner. And take another petal and go up into this corner. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to come down and then I'm going to go back over. See, it's not exactly perfect. Can you see that? It's not exactly perfect. Then I'm going to make this wide stem at the bottom. See that? Now we're going to cut. And because I already cut that, I don't have to go through a corner, which is nice, or a big thick edge piece. So we're just going to cut this out. And we're going to do about 8 sheets per flower. So we're doing 2 sheets at a time. Otherwise it would just be way too thick to cut through. And if you find this is too thick to cut through, then do 1 at a time. If you're doing this with kids, I definitely would suggest doing 1 at a time. They're just their little hands and their little scissors, honestly, have a hard time getting through the thick stuff. So I had one little corner here. So I'm going to use my super sharp scissors here and get up in this little corner here. Okay, and I may have to trim that some more. But, so this is our little petal, and you'll see what I mean when you open this up, it looks like a snowflake. So I am going to trim, so I opened this up a little bit, so it's going to be thinner. Those aren't getting in there. I'm going to trim this little guy just to make more definition in his petal. There we go. Big chop. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side just to get a little bit more definition. Okay. So then you just keep opening it up. Oh my gosh. There we go. Oh, there's the side. And you can see it really has that snowflake type pattern here. Okay. So I already have a couple cut. And so what I'm doing is I have 2 here, that makes 4. I'm going to get to 8, and then we're going to work on actually turning this into a hydrangea. Okay, I want to show you how to do a leaf real quick. Just because I am folding and cutting, I want to make sure that you knew how to do a leaf. So you're going to take those same coffee filters that you tinted green, fold those in half, fold it in half again, and then this time fold the edge over, and then just kind of trace around the edge with your scissors. And when you open it, kind of want to just trim around this to get that fold. But this gives you the general shape of the leaf. And then you have a cute little leaf. And it has you can put crinkles in it if you like. I like the way it looks just like this. You can accordion style it. However you want to do your leaf is fine. Okay, so we are ready to do our flower. Yep. So I have my set of 8 here. I'm going to alternate my petals. So I'm going to lay the 2 out. Yep. Take my next 2 and kind of just put the next petal in between that petal.
There we are.
Shh. I'm going to do the same thing to the next one.
I cannot talk.
You can.
But not over somebody?
Right, not over me. The next one this way. Back up from the die, please. Then, the next thing we're going to do, I want you to see that better. I'm going to zoom in. So you can see they're just kind of alternated back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
The next thing, we're going to fold it in half.
My one is slightly roll it.
Hold on. We're going to find the middle.
Slightly roll it.
Slightly roll it really loosely.
And then find the spot and then put hot glue on it.
Yeah, we're going to secure it with some hot glue.
Is it very hot?
It is very hot, so we're not going to touch it. We're going to hold it for a second to let it dry. We've got some dye over here.
That we're going to do.
I'll put a little bit more blue in here.
Yeah. Let's put a little more blue in it. Okay, let's see what's color turn out.
What do you think it's going to look like this time?
I don't know, actually. Looks like a pinkish.
Pinkish?
Mhm.
Alright, so here's my hydrangea. Isn't it pretty? So you could leave them like this if you want that natural look. But we are going to
Dip it.
dip it. So we're just going to just dip around the edges here.
It looks like a navy blue.
It does kind of look navy blue, doesn't it?
Mhm. But it's not. Why is it not a navy blue?
So we're going to just dip the branches, the petals. Then I've got these little cups here. And we're going to turn it over and we're going to let it dry like this. That way the dye seeps down as it's drying. And we're going to just put that outside so it can dry. Alright, so when they're dry we will come back. Okay, so for my leaves, what I'm doing is just making a stack. So as I add one, I'm taking some green dye and just painting on top of it. And what I'm doing is going every other one. So that the one in between maybe won't get so much dye. That's all I'm doing. So these will dry up real nicely and then we will be able to put them onto our flowers. Okay guys, so now that all of our flowers are dry, we're going to put a stem on them. So you're going to take the cone of your flower and you're going to snip off the end just a little bit. You're going to put some hot glue on it and then take some floral wire, gauged wire. I think this is a 16. You could also use a pipe cleaner if you'd like. That would work as well. Put that in there, and then if you want to wrap it with floral tape, you can. If you're using the pipe cleaners, I would definitely wrap it with floral tape. I just don't have good luck with floral tape. So what I typically will do is stick it in the hot glue to try to give it a good start. And then let that dry for a second. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is the leaves. So with the leaf, you want to kind of just crunkle it up, fold it in half so that it has that vein down the middle. And then if you want to, you could even fold it like a fan, kind of at an angle, and that gives you some more vein look. Then right down the middle, put a bead of hot glue, and then using the Dollar Tree floral wire, find the end of it, you're going to just lay this in the hot glue. And snip it off, okay? So that's how you do the leaves and the flowers. Then once all that is dry, you're going to take your leaf, attach it to a flower, and then I just kind of twine this around here. And you can add 1 leaf, 2 leaves, depending on how many you have. Okay? Then the next thing we're going to do is fill the bottom of our pot with the floral foam. So I found this really cute pot at the Dollar Tree. So I decided to use this instead of that wooden basket that I have. And so take up your foam block, cut it up, fill up the bottom, and then we're going to start arranging our flowers. Okay, here's what I've got so far. So with your floral wire, you can trim that down to give the size that you want. And then you're just going to stick that into the foam. This one needed a leaf. Another leaf here. Almost done. This really turned out cute. I really like this. And it is really just filling up here. Add another leaf to this one. Oh, that one needs a leaf, so I'll leave that one. I want to go down a little bit shorter on that one. I've got one more. Oh, this is the one I didn't put the floral tape on. So if you kind of tug this floral tape as you twist it, it does get kind of sticky. I just don't have really good luck with it because it doesn't want to stick at the ends. I do have one more leaf. Alright, so as I rearrange this, I'm going to kind of arrange this so that the leaves hang down. So now I'm just going to go and play with this, make sure that everything looks the way I want it to look, and that the holes are all covered. But that's it, guys. Isn't this cute? I'll show you what it looks like sitting on the table. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like sitting on the table. I'll show you the other side too. The other side looks a little like it got more of the pink flowers on one side, so I might change that. But I think it turned out really cute. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that little bell notifications. Until next time, keep crafting.